You don't have to be concerned about me seeking retaliation from Diddy. I already made 3 strategic moves that guarantee he'll never be able to target me or anyone close to me. To start, I directly contacted the legal teams representing the victims. The real reason he isn't walking free lies in those hidden cases operating quietly in the background. I financed legal support for 7 victims who had remained silent for years and secured the most elite criminal lawyers in the nation. Next, I acquired every possible business opportunity he had planned after release. This wasn't impulsive. I prepared for this over 2 years. So when sentencing happened and he still believed freedom was possible, every business associate had already walked away. Finally, I don't just possess evidence. I have layers of protection. This is a complete minefield buried for 2 decades. I uncovered every hidden truth from the past 30 years backed by victim testimonies. We spoke with more than a dozen individuals he manipulated, intimidated, or abused. You think that's extreme? No. He ruined countless lives over decades. I'm simply ensuring he serves additional years for it. I'm not scared of his associates or his warnings. I know he's still sitting there imagining a return, but the reality is he's never.
Is this real life? I feel crazy. The world is spinning around me. What's happening? You have 4 eyes. I have 2 fingers.
For a long time, red flags were dismissed as harmless background noise. Awkward incidents were brushed off with laughter. Disturbing footage was repackaged as entertainment while serious concerns were quietly ignored. Now, with 50 Cent's documentary dragging the past back into focus, the timeline is being reconsidered and long-overlooked whispers are finally demanding acknowledgement. At the center stands Diddy, a powerful figure who controlled access and opportunity, alongside Justin Bieber, a talented young artist pulled into that environment before he had the protection needed to survive it. This isn't about edited clips or internet rumors. It's about power, silence, and how truth can stay hidden for years when staying quiet is more profitable than responsibility.
Yeah, so as soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, it's gonna be yours. So, you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, go get the first shot.
Man.
Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down, you gotta, you know, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15, you could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
Yeah.
Alright, 16.
Not 16. Ready. Slow down. Let's slow down, Josh.
Okay.
Let's slow down.
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when you get 16. You good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Alright.
Then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. I get the mansion?
Yeah.
So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed the Usher.
He signed the Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
Going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you wanna do? What you wanna do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang out with some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about, kid. Yeah.
Justin Bieber's rise was marketed as a flawless pop-era success. Yet beneath the shine existed a far more disturbing reality. a teenager moving through influential adult spaces with little visible protection. Archived clips and interviews reveal him repeatedly placed in situations where power and access mattered more than age-appropriate boundaries, a pattern openly visible yet ignored. For years, these moments were excused as standard celebrity behavior instead of examined as a serious industry breakdown. This isn't about one video or isolated moment. It's about grooming, about a system trained to overlook warning signs. When youth becomes a form of currency for advancement, one question cuts through everything. Who bears responsibility for the damage?
You got people in the industry that's been saying for years, this man is having sex with underage. So now the federal government is looking at that like, yo, when is somebody going to come forward? We got this information, this alleged information, but nobody's willing to come forward. Then they go on and say, yo, Shakur Stewart mysteriously dead. Supposed to be a self-inflicted wound. Person that had everything going for them in their life. Kim Porter dead. Somebody's car gets blown up. This guy is walking around threatening other actors, people. Somebody got to get involved in it. If it ain't the state, let it be the feds. Somebody got to stop him. He lucky that God giving him the opportunity to be stopped while he's alive, then have to go to hell and face that shit. He got a chance to repent now, change his life.
You mentioned minors, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and they're making a lot of...
For many years, 50 Cent deliberately framed himself as an outsider to Sean Diddy Combs' private circle, sensing the atmosphere and choosing distance over involvement. Still, his statements were repeatedly brushed aside as jealousy or competition. Now, as legal pressure grows and public opinion shifts, those comments return with heavier weight and clearer significance. This doesn't confirm every allegation, but it reshapes perspective, revealing how alerts can surface long before evidence gains official acknowledgement. The reality feels uneasy. It's simple to dismiss critique when it comes from a voice audiences prefer to undermine. And that raises a critical question. How many warning signs are ignored merely because the speaker challenges far beyond music studios, influencing who gained entry into spaces where careers were elevated or quietly halted? Justin Bieber's closeness to that environment wasn't unusual, but instead mirrored a broader industry practice, where advancement depended on powerful gatekeepers and behind closed doors influence rather than open accountable systems.
Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, he could buy you one also.
Got me a Lamborghini.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Well, apparently not. Something, everything ain't fair.
Cheapest weight.
If he's bigger than Diddy, and he's not none of the names that I said, probably so. But then they say he was young too.
Yeah, they say he was young.
Let me get his name right. I hope it ain't the Bieber. I hope it's not the Bieber.
That's a good one. It might be him. But if they saying that the guy is young and he's an A-lister, I can't think of that many black people, man.
Right. Not at all. And somebody that's more powerful, more of a celebrity than Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? If they were saying somebody that was more celebrity than Diddy, he was an A-lister, he was younger. You know what I'm saying? And if he's not black, it would have to be the Bieber. That's his name, Bieber? They said I got that wrong too. Justin Bieber, allegedly. I don't know, bro.
Right. But when you heard the news that Diddy, he had to cheat with another man, did that catch you by surprise or no?
Well, all this shit is by surprise to me. A lot of this shit is by surprise to me, to be totally honest, man. Because I knew Puff, I knew Puff Daddy.
The deeper concern moves past what may have occurred unseen and centers on why responsibility failed inside a structure where achievement is tied to closeness with authority. When advancement is awarded through access, boundaries blur rapidly and caution is labeled weakness rather than safety. Within that setting, pressure isn't hidden. It's embedded, shaped by dominance and imbalance. The central struggle is power itself. Who genuinely holds the ability to refuse and who is forced to carry consequences when they do.
I knew Diddy before he was Love and Brother Love and back to Diddy. So, no, but the diddler, he's the diddler now. A lot of it's surprising, but it's not unheard of. Because you hear of all kinds of shit, and whether it registered with you or you internalize it or something like that, that's a whole nother story. But a lot of this stuff is crazy. But this is the world that we live in now, man. That these individuals thinks it's all right. Bruh, when does it comes all right to be sitting there eating food off a naked woman? When did we start doing what they do? Let's keep it a buck. When did we start doing what they do? These guys is popping pills. You got Jay-Z dancing with a chick that's...
Well before Justin Bieber rose into a global icon, Usher openly spoke about entering Diddy's world as a teenager and later admitted facing adult expectations far too early, and that context matters because it confirms pattern, not speculation. When similar behaviors emerge across separate generations, coincidence fades and a deeper thread appears, where control and authority circulate without meaningful change. Awareness without action becomes failure itself. If discomfort was once recognized and left unanswered, the lasting question cuts deeply. Why did the structure stay untouched when the next young star was led along the exact same path?
Might make you change your mind. Look at little Nas X. He fizzled out fast too.
So would you say someone like Justin Bieber's a victim? I just seen he is reportedly selling his whole catalog because he's broke.
Yeah. Yeah. And once he finishes getting that money, I don't understand why he's broke. He didn't have to be broke. Usher just wouldn't stop robbing him.
Damn.
I mean, Usher couldn't keep his hands out of his pocket. It's funny. You got him signed and turned over custody to Diddy. And boy was never the same, and neither was Usher's pockets, because Usher's been living off of Justin Bieber's money. He ain't been living off of his own. Because the truth is, Usher don't really make that kind of money. And I'm really just kind of sick and tired of Usher reign.
Yeah,
I'm really kind of disgusted with Usher reign, who does Greek wrestling nude with men over frosted flakes, allegedly. Like, I'm sick and tired of this guy who everyone knows got the Diddy bumps, who's been sued for passing them on and lost. is still sitting there disgracing women in front of their men who bought the tickets to like that whole scheme.
He's caused a lot of divorce courts.
Yeah, but why? He don't even want them. He don't want them women. He's literally doing it just to destroy relationships.
As attention around Diddy intensified, numerous former supporters retreated into silence, while 50 Cent reinforced his position, exposing an unspoken industry formula. Confronting the narrative endangers connections while remaining silent protects them until loyalty and self-preservation merge into a single instinct. This isn't motivated by fear. It's deliberate calculation, a system where truth competes against career survival. And when silence becomes the safest route, one difficult question refuses to fade. Can accountability genuinely exist in an environment designed to escape it?
I watched a video of an interview of Justin Bieber, and he was talking about Billie Eilish. And he was like, he was almost in tears. He's like, I just want to protect her. I just want to keep her safe.
Yeah.
What do you think he went through?
Because he knows what's been happening to Billy. Just like everybody knew what was happening to Millie Bobby Brown girl with Drake. These people are monsters.
Jermaine Dupri said something interesting. He said the reason that R&B isn't as powerful as it is anymore is because children are going to church.
Yeah.
What is it about the transfer from the spiritual to the secular do you believe that's what made R&B so powerful?
Understand this. Rhythm and blues was a combination of gospel and soul music. Because soul music has always been around in one form or another. It's just evolved throughout the years. And you got gospel, rhythm and blues. That's what put that together. That's why they made such a big stink about the Ray Charles incorporating gospel sounds into secular music. Because they wanted people to separate the two. This is demon, this is good. The truth is none of that's real. Right. There is no bad, there is no good. There is what is and there is what is not. And that's sad. But when you take the spirit that comes from that.
Justin Bieber has never openly accused Diddy of criminal misconduct, yet his later openness about anxiety, emotional weight, and personal instability adds critical depth to a far more complex narrative. He has discussed being forced into intense pressure at a young age, surrounded by adults with conflicting agendas and attempting to navigate enormous fame without the support or resources necessary to safeguard his mental health. That background doesn't offer easy conclusions, but it challenges surface-level readings, highlighting the genuine cost of growing up too fast within a system where protecting a young artist was never clearly prioritized.
That just testified against Diddy to the grand jury and had to give up 8 videotapes to the feds that contained celebrities in these freak-offs with Diddy is now listing some of the names that he saw on these tapes. And this man said that he got these tapes from a very close friend of Kim Porter's, and these were Kim Porter's tapes that she was going to use against Diddy. And some of the names that he says are some that we have heard rumored over the years. He said he saw Justin Bieber on this tape and he appeared to be underage during this time. He also saw Usher on these tapes and Usher definitely appeared to be underage. And this one gave me the chills because we've heard that Usher is the one that sent Justin Bieber to Diddy. Courtney Burgess sat down with the Too Strong channel here on YouTube and started naming some of the celebrities that he saw on these tapes.
Were kids involved in these parties that you can verify from looking at the tapes?
If Justin Bieber was older than he's supposed to have been, yes. If Usher was older, well, Usher was definitely young.
Okay.
You understand? The shoulder part was, the blood was all in his bed. You understand? It looked like they came home from event, a party or something.
Went on to explain how Danny Boy was also in one of these videos with Mary J. Blige and Diddy together. And Danny Boy admitted when he was 15 that Mary J. Blige flew him out to New York and he slept with her while he was underage.
The focus here isn't to determine legal judgments, but to face human impact. Harm doesn't always present itself through formal charges or clearly defined labels. It often appears later as persistent stress, fractured stability, or injuries that were never named. When intensity and exposure are built into a system, damage can stack up without a single dramatic moment to identify. That truth demands an uneasy reflection. If the issue is systemic rather than isolated, why do we insist on a specific accusation before acknowledging that something unmistakably went wrong?
Danny Boy, okay.
You know what Danny Boy is?
I heard that before. I don't, I've been so far away from hip hop, I forgot, but I have heard that name, Danny Boy.
Danny Boy back then, he was about 16. They both was about.
He also claimed that Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son, were in these videos, and he also said that there was photographs and videos of Diddy eating off of young girls.
Pictures or images of any of this stuff.
Yeah, I got Justin Bieber, Will Smith's son, whatever his name is. Other females on the table, they was young. His feet eating off them. A lot of entertainments in there. I got calls from certain one to get the tape out of my hand. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about.
And I have said that if this man testified to the grand jury, the feds had to have some reason to bring him in to actually testify against Diddy. But y'all let me know what you guys think about this man naming all of the people on the Diddy tape.
Once Diddy's story entered the federal courtroom, discussion shifted from speculation to structured review grounded in filings, procedures, and confirmable results. Legal limits shaped what could be responsibly stated, even as they revealed larger problems institutions are rarely equipped to confront. Courts exist to judge behavior, not culture, and that separation leaves deeper systemic breakdowns unresolved. The conclusion is direct and uncompromising. Legality does not equal morality, and procedural closure does not undo lasting damage. So when a case ends on paper, the real question remains. Does accountability end with the verdict? Or does that moment mark where true reckoning actually starts?
Do you think he has a mole or an informant in his camp that's cooperating?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Listen, bro. Just doing law enforcement myself, just take for instance. I think the individual was a Syracuse former basketball player named Jason Barnes or Beard or something like that. He already had drug charges against him. The day Diddy house get raided, they catch him getting on a plane and they put him into custody. Didn't that sound a little weird? People didn't catch that. They either put him in custody for a couple of reasons. You understand? One, to make a witness out of him, or to safeguard him and protect him for anything that could happen to him, because they had already stated, allegedly, that he was some kind of mule for the people over there at Diddy's house. So now, with that information, that he was already known by the government for drug charges, wouldn't that be an individual that you use? I'm gonna give you something different. And I'm gonna give you something else that people don't even think. On the other day, I seen on the video that Puff had ran into Justin Bieber. They met up, and he started tapping him as if he was searching him and see if he had some kind of device on. Did you see that?
Yep.
Check this out. What if the federal government have already talked to Justin Bieber? And Diddy did that on tape. That means in his mind, he think this person may be a witness, right?
The convergence of 50 Cent, Diddy, and Justin Bieber exposes a deeper reality within celebrity-driven systems where power rises upward, vulnerability is pushed downward, and accountability appears last, if it appears at all. Youth is sold as authenticity, closeness is rebranded as guidance, and silence is rewarded as professionalism, normalizing imbalance until warnings fade away. This isn't a narrative built on absolutes or single individuals, but on recurring conditions that consistently produce harm. And when the same structure delivers the same outcomes repeatedly, one question can no longer be avoided. When does the system stop being treated as background context and begin demanding examination itself?